Hey guys, it is Sunday, almost noon. Sunday, January 5th, I think. And I was thinking that it's been a long time since I did one of my stories. And I don't think I've told this before. If I've told the story about the GPS, the human GPS, just comment it and I will delete this video. But I've got about 15-20 minutes till I'm home. I'm on my way home from Lake Livingston State Park, and this last 15 minutes of the trip I thought I would tell the story. So I can't remember what year it was. It might have been 2009, and I was on FOB Marez. FOB, it means Forward Operating Base. I was not active duty. I was not a contractor. I was a federal employee of the Department of Defense. I did what they called S1. I was their admin. I was their administrative assistant for the remote office in Mosul, Iraq. We had this brand new compound on FOB Marez. We had moved from FOB Diamondback, which was on the other side of the runway, and the powers that be said that base is too much downriver in case the dam fails, so we're going to move y'all across the runway where it's a little bit higher, and you won't drown. You might die from floating cows and cars, but you won't drown. Anyway, so we're in this brand new compound, and where the offices were, it was 4 offices, 4 big trailers that were in a square, kind of like wagons circled, and in the center was a compound with a flagpole, and in all 4 corners was like a smoking section. It was like a picnic table where everybody stood around smoking, or just like smoke breaks, or just breaks, whatever. So I'd come out of my office and I was crossing the courtyard, and I saw a few people in the smoking section gathered around the IT guy who had a gadget. So I walked over to join the fun. This IT guy was a scrawny fella, and he shaved his head, and he did a really good job as our IT person. He had a GPS thing that showed where you were in the world, and so everybody was looking. This showed a little dot, and after a while looking at it, he realized that not only can it show where you are in kilometers and how far away you were from here or how far you had come, it also showed you how fast you were moving. So if you're in a vehicle, it would have shown you your miles per hour or kilometers per hour. So he started walking left and right, and he was like, oh wow, it's showing me how fast I move, so many feet per second or something like that. So he thought that he wanted to see how fast he could run. So he's holding this GPS, which was really bulky. It was like a very, just imagine the very first cell phones, how big they were. It was kind of like that. So he's holding it right in his face so that he can see the miles per hour in the glare of the sun. Look at our pretty flag. I think they're half mast because of the disaster in New Orleans. It's terrible. So he's running back and forth in the courtyard to see how fast he can run, and he's wanting to get a greater distance so that he can get some speed going and increase his speed. So he decides he's going to run from one corner where we were diagonally across the courtyard. I was letting these people go, and then around the side of the ops trailer to continue down the sidewalk. So he starts sprinting, and he's running, and he's going across the courtyard, and we see coming around the corner in the opposite direction with no idea of what's approaching him at a high rate of speed. We see the chief of the private security team. I think the company was Erynis, Erynis, I think. His name was Chris. It was an American, super tall guy, so nice, very professional, very solid man, if you know what I mean. Very tall, very, very solid man, former military. He's just just loping around the corner. And at the same time, the IT guy is coming at him. And because he's running so fast and he's not looking where he's going, he's looking at the screen. He's watching the screen and not where he's going. They collided. And it was happening so fast. Nobody had time to say, stop, wait, watch, look, stop. It just happened that fast. You couldn't even warn them. The best description of the sound of when they hit each other was meat on meat. I mean, they slammed into each other. And the IT guy, I kid you not, bounced off of Chris and landed on the picnic table on his back. And he was there for just a second, and he immediately got up, and everybody was crowded around Chris, who was on the ground. He was hit so hard. The IT guy bounced off of him, and Chris just collapsed like a sack of potatoes, just hit the ground. And he was stunned. I would say momentarily stunned. No, he was stunned for a while. He had no idea what had hit him. He was in shock. I mean, come on, you're in a war zone and you're just ambling around a corner and suddenly you're literally attacked. He was so shocked and stunned that you know what the next emotion is. He was mad. Well, the IT guy he was barely hurt. He was barely hurt. He was very apologetic and very concerned. I mean, even the ops team's medics came out and was tending to Chris. But that was just a memorable thing, very hilarious because it's very childlike, very juvenile, because that's what little kids do, is when they're running, they're not looking where they're going. It reminds me when I was younger and I worked at my aunt's daycare, all the little kids on the backyard playing, when they'd be running, they'd be so proud and they'd want you to see, look, I'm running. And so they'd call and call and call, and they'd want to make sure you were watching them run. And the result would be they would smack into a piece of playground equipment or something like that, and they'd get hurt. But anyway, that's my little, hopefully less than 8-minute story. Something stupid that happened when I was in Iraq. Man, there was a lot of injuries over there. You probably heard non-combat related injury. Unfortunately, that usually attributes to a soldier committing suicide, unfortunately. But there were a lot of non-combat related injuries because of stupidity. Safety departments are there for a reason, unfortunately. Bye.